Lights are bright. Yeah, go for it. Check, check. Let's go.
Hi, Jason.
Hey, Ramsha.
Welcome. So tell me a bit about yourself first.
Well, where do I start? So, my name's Jason. I am the area manager for Meydan, Creek, District 1, Shoba for White & Co. I've been with White & Co now for around 18 months in total. And yeah, so far so good.
Okay, so we're just going to ask you around 10 to 12 questions just about your real estate journey and how you've come this far.
Yeah.
So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Born ready.
Love that. Number one, why did you decide to move to Dubai?
Oh, great question. So it all kicked off with COVID, to be honest with you. So obviously lockdown, COVID in the UK, it was brutal, to be honest with you. I moved back in with my parents at the time.
Oh, wow.
I think I was 28, maybe 29 at the time. So that was tough. Everybody was not working. So I think a lot of time spent in my bedroom, just watching YouTube videos. And I just thought, you know, there's more to life than this. I think lockdown was a massive eye opener for myself. And yeah, honestly, I ended up on Instagram, ended up on YouTube, saw that people are living the life in Dubai. I think Dubai at the time was like the only place that was still living.
Yeah,
wasn't on lockdown. So I think that was a big pull and a big attraction. And then yeah, saw a couple of videos on YouTube with a few individuals that were loving real estate, and I thought, you know what, I was in sales at the time anyway, so I thought that looks like a bit of me. You know, I think, you know, people talking about they can earn as much as they want, live in the sun. So yeah, it was a big attraction. So start of lockdown, that was that, and then I had a few interviews at places, and next thing you know, I was on a flight on the way to Dubai, and I'd never been to Dubai before as well. So it was like one-way ticket, just make it work. I didn't know anybody really over here, so it just it all works out well.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
In a major way.
Yeah.
Love that. So what were the first 6 months like when you actually moved to Dubai in real estate?
Yeah, so it was tough. I think it was very different to what it looked like on social media. You know, there's a reality behind it. So any new starters coming out, I think they can resonate with me when they know how tough it is. But it was amazing. I went into a hotel to start with in the marina. So I started living in there literally out of a suitcase, and went straight into rentals. So I was with the previous company before White & Co, and it was tough, you know, living every month paycheck to paycheck, just trying to stay head above water, and yeah, just grinding it out. I was running around in a little Chevy Spark. I think everybody in Dubai knows what one of those is, but just honestly just working as hard as possible, trying to get a name for myself, and yeah, met a lot of good people, which helped massively. Met a lot of friends, and you know, I think because I'd been in sales so long, I've been in sales for like nearly 10 years now, and I came out at 28, 29, so that helped. But you know, there's young people coming out at like 20 years old now, and it just blows my mind, like these youngsters coming out and trying to do this job, which is, you know, fair play to them, and I'm sure they'll have very successful careers. But it was tough, a lot of knockdowns, a lot of deals falling through. A lot of running around till midnight for 2,000 dirham fees. You know, that's the reality of it. And, you know, just sticking to the process. But I had great management, you know, around me. And I just knew, because I could see the numbers around me, I could see that the opportunity was massive. You know, seeing people do 200, 300, 400,000 dirham commission deals, and I was running around for 2,000 dirhams. I knew one day, you know, that will be me. I will get that. So it's just nice to be in that environment and you can see it. So
was there ever a point where you were like, no, I'm done, I'm gonna give up? And if that ever came around, what made you stay in the game? Because obviously, like, there are a lot of people who make it, but there's also a lot of people who are struggling. So what made you go through the tough times to get to where you are?
For sure. I mean, first of all, I got to a point in my life, again, I go back to the age that I was at. I tried a lot of things. I had a business in the UK. It was, you know, I tried that for 3 years and it just didn't quite work out. And I kind of felt like Dubai was my last opportunity. You know, approaching 30 years old, I thought that was my last opportunity. So to answer your question, it was never in doubt that I would make it happen. I'd never even thought I would go back home or it won't work out, because I knew I was good enough for it. I saw that early doors. So yeah, it was either you make it or you make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no other choice.
It's an option for
non-negotiable.
I love that. I think that's the best option.
Yeah.
So how did you actually end up at White & Co, and how did you get into your area, Meydan and Crete?
Yeah. So again, the previous company I was at, we got to choose our areas. So at the time, you know, my previous manager, he sat me down and he said, listen, obviously the opportunity is yours. You can choose whichever area you like. And I had a look around. I knew this was a long-term project for me. So I wanted to go to an area that was still developing, that wasn't completed, like the Palm, Marina, downtown. Those are like the three big areas. But I thought, you know what, nobody's really touching this area. And the opportunity's there. It's only, at the time, it was only for 30-40% complete. So I thought, okay, this is a good opportunity. And I liked the fact that there was apartments and villas, because I thought right now I can do the rentals with the apartments, but I can grow into the villas. So it was a no-brainer. A bit of a risk, you know. People used to drive past, and 2.5 years ago, people were like, Meydan, what, like, where is this?
Exactly.
Nobody even knew where it was. And even today, you drive around, it looks like a building site, but when you get in, you can see the opportunity there. So that was the reason on the area. In terms of why White & Co now, so again, I was with a previous company for the first sort of 12 months. And again, Instagram played a big part, to be honest with you. Saw what Callum was doing on social media. A lot of people and the incentives, a lot of people talking positive about it. And you know, as soon as I had a conversation with Callum and Neil at the time, it was a no-brainer. I thought, you know, what he's done in 12 months is exciting. It's a young company. It's bright. The earning potential that Callum offers. And I thought, you know what, I am here for the long run. I do fancy growing with a company. And yeah, here I am. And then regarding the area manager, again, I'd like to think I've created a good name for myself in the area. So I've got a lot of experience, and we've taken on the Creek as well now. So we're a team of 14, 15. And yeah, so far so good. The guys are doing well, and you know, we haven't even got started though. That's the beauty of it. You know, there's so much potential, so much room to grow. So yeah, really excited for the future.
Space.
Yeah, for sure. You know, we will have the best and biggest team in Dubai. That's for sure.
For sure. Love that. So what is a fun fact about you that people don't really know?
Fun facts, I always go to the same one. Well, two things. I was born in South Africa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people might not know that. So I lived in South Africa till I was 2, and then I moved to the UK. But yeah, most of my family is South African. And the second one I always say is I was named after a pair of jeans. So random, I know.
Seriously?
I know. So there's a jean brand in South Africa. I don't know if it's around anymore, but it's called Jason Michael. And yeah, I was named after a pair of jeans. So I don't know if that's true, but my mum's always told me that. So I've used it for 30 years. So let's go with that.
Wow, Meydan Man, named after jeans.
That's it.
Love that. So at White & Co Real Estate, for the past 2 months, you have been the #1 sales broker in the whole company.
Yes.
First of all, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
Number 2, how does it feel?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, people that know me know how competitive I am.
Yeah.
You know, I know I come across maybe a little bit friendly, but inside, you know, there's a big competitive side to me. So it feels amazing. You know, I think in this job, people would be lying if they said that they don't want to be #1 and they don't want to earn, you know, uncapped commission. So yeah, it feels good. But even though that's done, I want the same this month. You know, I want to do a hat trick. So long way to go, but we'll see. But yeah, it was a good achievement. I've had a very good couple of months, and it's a strange one, but I kind of felt I knew it was coming at some point. For the deals that have happened recently, and I think the biggest thing to take away from that is just time in the area. You know, there's a saying that the guy that I follow says, it's if you hang around the barbershop long enough, you're going to get a haircut. And that sticks with me massively. You know, I've stuck to this area. I obviously do District 1. I've stuck to the area. I've done, you know, a couple of years in that area, lots of knockbacks, lots of deals that have fallen through, but just stick at it and you'll end up getting a haircut. So yeah, it's been an amazing 2 months. Very proud, very happy, eye-opening, life-changing, and you know, we just build on that now and go again. So Yeah, let's do it.
Do you think that there's a point that comes where you're like, okay, I've been number one, now I need a break, or does that break never happen?
Yeah, it's such a weird feeling, you know. You end up earning a certain amount of money or getting a certain status, and people will resonate with me on this, but it doesn't feel like it's enough. Obviously, it's amazing, you know. Of course, you have that moment where you might buy a nice watch, or you might go on holiday or whatever, but in sales there's never a finish line, you know. So it's always like you want to go again, and you're only as good as your last month. I think that's the truth. So it's good, but you know, the foot's not off the pedal yet. You need to just keep going, and you know, just rinse and repeat, I like to say. But yeah, no, listen, I'm very, very happy, but I know it's just you get to a certain level, and then okay, that's the new norm. Let's go higher.
Standard.
Yeah, exactly. But I think, listen, holidays, I'm going on holiday in a couple of weeks to Portugal, so more than ready for that.
Yeah, I think it's important to
reset. You know, what's the point in earning, you know, money that you earn and working so hard if you're not going to enjoy it?
Exactly.
You know? Obviously, the loved ones around you, family, friends. So yeah, for sure.
So what's a TV or a movie star that you look up to or that you really like, and why?
Yeah, great question. So it's not really a movie star. It's anybody that watches Suits will know Harvey Specter.
Oh, I love Suits.
Yeah,
love it.
Honestly, through lockdown, I watched it on repeat. I watched it years ago as well, but yeah, Harvey Specter, he is the guy. Definitely look up to him. I just love his charisma. He's suave. He's just got a lot about him. You know, he walks into a room and you pay attention. And you know, I like to base my character on him a little bit.
I think my favorite quote of his is, "If someone puts a gun to your head, it's like so many different ways you can point it back at the other person." And I think in real estate, that really works, right?
Yeah, staying in control. You know, Harvey Specter, he's always in control. He always knows a plan. He's always ahead of the game. And obviously, I love how he dresses. He's fly. You know, he's a cool guy. So yeah, definitely he's my guy. Harvey Specter. Yeah,
I absolutely love him. Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so in real estate, what's your best experience so far? It could be a buyer or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of good experiences, but I think an eye-opening experience for me was, I think, one of the deals that I did in January this year. And it wasn't the deal, it wasn't the commission, it was the whole story and how quick things can change. So I was driving through District 1 on a Friday night. I think I went to take some photos or whatever, and just got a random phone call, didn't have the number, and lady rings me saying, can you help me sell my plots? I've got some plots in Shoba, your name's been passed over to me, can you help me sell it? I was like, yeah, for sure. I said, I'm just driving through District 1 now, I've got an appointment, can I call you back? And she said, okay, well, I actually live in District 1, do you mind coming to see me? So I was like, yeah, for sure. I've got an appointment. I'll be half an hour. I'll come and see you. What's the villa number? So anyway, went through to the villa. That was at 4 or 5 p.m. Long story short, ended up staying there till 10, 11 p.m. at night.
Oh, wow.
Having Indian food, having a few beers with them. They were Indian family, the nicest family I've ever met. And they ended up buying a villa from me the next day for 18.5 million. So it was like within a space of 24 hours, you go from somebody's recommended my name to help her. She owned some plots that she wanted to sell, but then she was also looking for a villa in District 1. She was in a 4-bedroom. She wanted to upgrade to a 5-bedroom. And you know, I'm walking away from 4 p.m. going in not knowing what to expect. 11 p.m. had a few beers, Indian food, and a check in my hand for 10% of 18.5 million. We closed the deal the next day, and that moment was like, okay, things can change so quickly. And again, it goes back to just staying in the game. You know, do what you got to do, and just your day will come. You know,
that's real estate, right? Like,
it's crazy, and so much business has led on from that. But you know, maybe I didn't pick up the call, or maybe I didn't go to District 1 that day on a Friday afternoon when I could have gone to the pub, or you know, whatever. Left work early, but that was huge. You know, the day from within 24 hours signing that deal, and at the time that was my biggest ever value deal and value of commission. So,
and
best experience.
I think it's also important for new starters to understand that takes time, because for me it was like word of mouth and referral that actually got in there, right?
Exactly.
Like in 1 second.
Yeah, for sure. People might look at that as luck or a bit of whatever, but you know, they don't see the 2 years that all the rental viewings that you go on, getting a name for your head, learning at the time Shoba like the back of your hand. And that came from a lead who I rented out this landlord's apartment, a 1-bedroom for 60K. And it was his friend that said, okay, speak to this guy, he does Shoba. So, 2 years, you don't realize all the momentum that you're building and all the hard work. You're building a foundation basically, and that's my biggest best experience, yeah, for sure. Because it was so eye-opening.
It's amazing. So what would your advice be for a new starter, like really new into the game? Brand new.
Yeah, so best advice.
Like top 3 tips.
Top 3 tips, okay, cool. So first of all, pick an area that you're passionate about. I know companies sometimes pick your area, but you can get your way into the right area by persistence. So pick an area that you're obsessed with, that you genuinely like, and that you would live there yourself. That's number one, because when you're selling that area or renting that area, it comes across, people can feel that energy and feel that honesty when you're talking about the area. So that's biggest one. Second of all, I would say is be the hardest worker in the room, especially for the first year. I see youngsters coming in now, and people, they don't want to pick up the phone after 3 months. They think they've made it. It's the wrong attitude. I think you don't start making serious money until you're, I'd say, 5 years in the game here, until you start making that serious money. So people maybe give up a little bit too soon, but the first 12 months you have to be the hardest worker in the room. Staying the latest, getting in the earliest, making the most amount of phone calls. If you're serious about the job and you want a long-term career, yeah, be the hardest worker in the room. And then number 3, it's a tough one. I'd say pick a good company. Yeah, pick a good company that you can see yourself growing with. Uncapped earnings. Don't have a company where they put a roof on the commission that you can earn and kind of hold you back. You wanna have a big ceiling where you can grow as much as you want. And I think if you've got a good environment and good people around you, it makes your job a lot easier, because this job is brutal at times. It can get lonely at times as well. So make sure you're around good people, because without that, yeah, it can be very, very tough.
Cool. So pick an area.
Commit to an area.
And
the hardest worker
in the room, and pick a great company.
Yeah, choose your environment.
Love
That's the one.
What does the Meydan Man like to do when he's not out closing big deals?
In my spare time?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So I've picked up golf recently, and I'm terrible. I'm terrible, but I'm getting better. So I'm trying to break 100 at the moment. Any golf viewers, anybody watching this that likes golf, they'll understand what that means. So golf is a big plus. I think, the thing I like most about it, it's like 4 hours on a course in the sun, no phone, just you.
In the hot sun, you don't mind.
A club and a ball, and that's it. Yeah, it's that's the one. And yeah, I like to read a little bit. I'm a bit of a geek that way. Watch TV, gym, the usual stuff. But yeah, I'd say golf is the big one at the moment. Obviously play football, but I'm 32 soon, so my legs are gone. Yeah, not many years of playing football left.
Wow, golf. I don't know. I just never saw you as a golfer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah, I love that.
I will be good though. Give it a few years. I will make sure I'm good.
Love that. And then, so what's your favorite food, snack?
Favorite foods? Oh wow. I'd say as a meal, just these typical steak, chips, peppercorn sauce. That's my go-to. Steak, chips, peppercorn sauce. Yeah.
Oh. Any South African food? Maybe?
So I mean, in South Africa, it's obviously in the UK people call it a barbecue, but in South Africa it's a braai, and they have, instead of sausages, it's called boerewors. And a boerewors roll, sausage butty as they call it in the UK, but a boerewors roll is amazing, and a Savannah dry. That's a South African drink. They do it over here as well, but that's that's the one.
Okay. What is your inspiration, and what are like some of your goals for maybe the next 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, good question. I mean, obviously I want to still be in real estate. I want to, we always want to get better, but I want to have doubled, tripled, quadrupled the amount of, deals that I'm doing, connections that I have. Maybe one day open up a real estate company myself. I don't know. Maybe Callum won't like me saying that, but of course that's aspirations. What he's done, I can talk about that. What Callum's done at such a young age is I think anybody that's serious about the game would be stupid not to want that as well. So, I think to have grown in the pace he's grown is just, it's incredible. So for sure, that's a big aspiration, maybe in 4 or 5 years. And inspiration, I would say there's a guy I follow called Grant Cardone. He's a big mentor of mine. I've been watching him and reading his books for years. I think anybody in sales will know who he is. So he's a big inspiration. Harvey Specter, of course, as well. And in 5 years, again, I think, the company, I think that I'd be lying if I didn't say that. I'd love to have my own real estate company one day. But life changes very, very quickly. Let's see what happens. But I'm definitely here for the long journey.
I love that. So last question. Now, a lot of people talk about your Instagram. I mean, a lot of people know you as the Meydan Man.
Yeah.
I think that's happened because of your social media.
Yeah.
So do you think that in real estate, social media is important? And if so, how do you go about in creating a personal brand on social media that leads you to having success and getting leads?
Yeah, great question again. I think as much as you work for a company, real estate is very self-employed. So I think having a personal brand is massive. You look at some of these big companies out there or these big individuals, you think of them before you think of the company that you work for. And in real estate, people as a seller or a buyer, they don't care about the company they work for. They just care about Jason. They don't have me saved as Jason White & Co. They have me saved as Jason,
Yeah.
So, the Meydan Man, it's funny, that's, people have actually called me Meydan. People don't even know my first name. Sometimes they just ring me, are you the Meydan Man? Like, it's weird to hear it, but I think just over time that's come and I've stuck to it. And I think it's just about being persistent. I think as soon as I get an inquiry or I get a new lead to list a property, I will send them my Instagram just so that they know who they're dealing with. Because as much as we are real estate agents, we are people as well, and people buy off people, so they want to know who they're dealing with.
Exactly, it's important.
I think every individual should. I know it's uncomfortable sometimes to put pictures on or stories on, and people might think you're bragging and stuff, but it's not. I use it as leverage. If you've come first 1 month, put it on there, because people will then, if they think of District 1 or Shoba or Meydan, they'll think of me. And I get a lot of business that way. The 3 of the deals that I did over the last 2 months came through Instagram. The lead came through on a Saturday morning on Instagram. Did a viewing with him. Fast forward 2 months, the guy spent 60 million dirhams with me from an Instagram lead.
That's insane.
That's 2-3 years of building that profile. So I think everybody should do it. I think you just start, even if you've got 10 followers, just keep repetitive. It's not going to grow overnight. You're not going to get a lead within the first few months, but you have to start somewhere. So I think building a brand and standing out from the crowd is hugely important. And the biggest advice is, and the biggest facts are, all the top guys are on Instagram. You look at Ryan Serhant, huge. Gavin Rubenstein from Australia, huge on Instagram. Gary V, huge on social media. So just keep at it, and also just take the aspect of caring what others think away, and you'll do well. Because people are like, oh, I don't want to put it on Instagram because my hair's not right, or my dress isn't right, or my nails aren't done, or I look stupid. You need to drop that ego. That's a big thing that Grant Cardone talks about as well, is drop the ego. Stop caring what people think, because the people who are watching, they're just too scared to do it themselves, or they're jealous, or take that away and just crack on. And fast forward 2-3 years,
it'll pay.
You'll be a superstar. So for sure.
Love that. Thank you so much, Jason. That's all we have for today. Appreciate you coming out here and answering our question.
No worries. I actually enjoyed it. I wasn't as nervous as I thought I was going to be.
All right. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.